that I was gonna go. So I wanted to come on here and talk about something very personal that has affected my lifestyle every day. And it has affected my lifestyle. That has affected my lifestyle. It's affected my work. It's affected in a lot of different ways. And let me show you guys what I deal with. I don't know if you guys can see how bad my hands are wet. Like how bad my hands are. Like they're super wet. I mean, this is not as bad, but this is what I struggle with every day.
Sweaty hands.
I struggle with sweaty hands. So I have this condition called hyperhidrosis, and it is excessive sweating. So I sweat in my hands, my feet, underarms, and even some parts of my face and stuff. Um, and I've always had this condition ever since I was in elementary school. That's my alarm going off in the back. Somebody's trying to break in. um, so I'm coming on here to talk about my condition that I struggle with every day. It really sucks. It first started under my arms. I would sweat really bad under my arms. Then it started with my hands and then my feet, and it keeps getting worse. I've seen doctors for it. I've gone to a dermatologist, and they've given me options on how, to kind of take care of it or whatever. And I've tried some of them, and my sweat has just overpowered them. Because nothing seems to kind of work. So my options are getting Botox injections in my sweat glands. But I heard that it only lasts for like 6 months or so, and eventually your sweat overpowers it and starts sweating even more, or your sweat can go to different places or whatever. It's gotten so bad where, like, if I'm writing something, I smear everything. I smear the whole paper. Like, the whole paper is wet. When I go get my nails done, I don't know. Before I used to have a little fan, my own little personal fan. Look how bad they're getting. Okay, this is every day. This is all day what I struggle with. It doesn't matter, like, the climate, doesn't matter like what temperature it is outside, doesn't matter if it's cold, hot, it doesn't matter what it is, I'm always sweating. Yeah, I've struggled with this for a long time. I remember in high school I would wear only dark clothes because of how bad my sweat stains would be under my arms. I would go in the bathroom and grab paper towels and just put them under my arms, just so, I don't know, just to prevent from sweating them, or just so I won't show and stuff. I can't wear open toe shoes because my foot will just slide through them because it's super slippery and wet. And even when I started dating Jerry, I was so insecure, and because it is really one of my biggest insecurities, is my hyperhidrosis. I wouldn't even want to hold hands because of how embarrassing it felt, and so I would tell him, like, hey, can you just roll the window down, and I would just put my hands outside so I can dry them, and then I can hold his hand. But I think he just eventually learned to love my sweaty hands. So he holds my hands and he doesn't care. Look how bad they are. Look how bad this one is. So I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has a flaw. Yeah, I feel like it has gone worse. I get really bad anxiety, and my hands just start sweating like crazy. I would have only one nail lady that I'd go to because she knew how my condition was, and she would actually have gloves for me, and she would just cut the tips so my hands wouldn't be all slippery in her hands. And then eventually she ended up getting a fan for me. But now I found me a new nail girl, and she got a fan for me. What else? Yeah, I this, like I said, it's my biggest insecurity, because even where I used to work at before, it was customer service, or even still now, somebody would want to reach out and shake hands, and I just didn't want to because of how sweaty my hands were. So I would have to like dry them off, or dry them on my jeans and stuff beforehand, giving them a sweaty handshake. So don't feel offended. If I don't go straight to a handshake or anything. If I just say, hey, let's just fist pump.
We got the corona. Yeah, you stay away from the corona anyway.
Yeah, I can't. We can't touch anybody anyways. Or let's just hug it out. But yeah, so lately I have been sweating more on my top lip here, which I never would really sweat, and now I do. I wear waterproof makeup because of how sweaty I get. Sometimes I can't wear, certain types of clothing or the material, because you're gonna end up seeing my sweatiness. So sometimes I'll probably just even wear something dark and stuff, just so you can't see it. But doctors have prescribed like pills and stuff, but I'm not a girl that's gonna be on pills every single day. They've given me antiaspirants. How do you say it? Antiaspirants? I don't know, like deodorant, pretty much. They've given me deodorant to put on my hands and my feet, but my sweat has overpowered them. I've also.
Don't forget that booty juice.
I don't. Well, you know what? Sometimes I get booty juice, but it's not as bad as how like my hands and my feet and my underarms get. I think everybody gets booty juice, okay? When they're working out and stuff. Oh yeah, when I work out, I don't really sweat as bad, but I think towards the end, I end up like sweating like really bad. It gets so bad that my sweat would literally start dripping down. But yeah, and so it doesn't matter like if it's super super cold, or I'm just sitting down, just relaxing, I will start sweating. So doctors have told me about getting my sweat glands removed, but there is side effects to it. I've heard of getting Botox injected into your sweat glands, but eventually, I think you go every 6 months or so, and eventually your sweat's gonna want to go somewhere else in, your face or any other body parts and stuff. So I'm kind of scared for that. I've heard of Miradry. I think I want to say it's Miradry or something like that. I haven't tried that out, but I've heard good reviews on it. So yeah, growing up and stuff from high school all the way till now, it's my biggest insecurity. So I feel like people will start talking about it, like if they saw it or if they shake my hand and stuff, and but like, I don't know if you guys can see how bad it gets. My hands are just super wet. One funny thing I do is when it's hot outside and I just want to refresh myself, I go like this. I know it sounds super gross, but I don't care. Yeah, so that is one of my biggest insecurities that I have. Dude, I don't even care if I have lonjas in my fucking chichis and shit. I don't care about my stretch marks. I don't care. My biggest insecurity is my hyperhidrosis. That really interferes with my lifestyle, my just everything. I can't unlock my phone sometimes. I have to give it to my man or to my kids. I'm like, hey, can you unlock my phone, please? Because of how sweaty my hands get. I can't open like things. I can't open doorknobs. I just can't do a lot of things that involve, my hands and stuff. Because I can't. They're just slippery. They're just wet all the time. And it really sucks, having this condition. really bad anxiety because of it. I get nervous. I've gotten depressed. But now I've learned to live with it and just, love myself of how I am, and, you know, I've learned to live with it now. So I don't know why I came. So okay, I know why I wanted to make this video is because I came across this girl on TikTok talking about her hyperhidrosis, and then I was reading all the comments, and like I just felt so good because I'm not the only one. Like I literally thought I was the only person with this condition, but now knowing that a lot of people have this condition makes me feel much better. Um, so if you're seeing this video and you're struggling with the same thing, you're not alone. A lot of people go through it. And yeah, it sucks, but you know what? You gotta learn to love yourself. You gotta just learn to, adapt. And yeah. So what I do is I do use a lot of hand sanitizer. That keeps my hands kind of dry. I keep washing my hands. I literally I swear like almost 10 minutes or so. Or I'm always washing my hands. I'm always drying them. I'm always finding a way to like just keep myself dry. Even when I'm in the car, my fucking AC. I'm sorry, my AC is fully blast on full blast. Like you don't understand. Like my hair is like, like that's how bad like I have to be. Oh, that's how bad like it is. Yeah, same. I can't wear open toe heels that I like because my feet slide right through. So I can only wear certain types of material that has a grip, or it's not slippery. It's not, like it has to. I'm always changing my socks because of how bad they get. Yeah, so I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know about my biggest insecurity. So I get a lot of comments like, oh my gosh, how pretty, you're so perfect, and like, no baby, I'm not perfect. I think everybody has a flaw. You just have to learn to love yourself. And yeah, I hope my kids don't have it, even though I think they might. I'm not sure, but they're still too young. They're still too young to see if they do have the condition or not. But yeah, so I have hyperhidrosis, and I'm learning to live with it. So I hope this video helped anybody out, or is can help somebody out. You're not alone. I go through it too. I've gone really depressed about it. My anxiety, everything, it just ruins everything. But what can you do? You can only do so much. And yeah, so that's all, guys. I hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up. I don't know. So don't get offended if I don't want to give you a handshake or high five you or anything. Let's just fist bump is better, or a hug, unless you really want to splish splash, then let's go. But those are my cameras. But yeah, peace out, guys. Look how bad my hands are.